Hello, it's CraftyRia and welcome back to another video. Today will be a card sketch video and this is card sketch number 3. I'm going to make a regular card and a recycled Christmas card out of this card sketch. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to back up the camera to its normal spot. So for the regular card, I decided to go ahead and use these 3 papers left over from the Easter eggs I made because I thought I would have one piece here, and then one piece for the middle. And I found this really cute purple flower that goes really good with it to use as the flower embellishment. I also have some of these stickers that I thought went well with it to kind of decorate this piece. And then this ribbon was sent to me in a trade or a swap, and I thought it went really, really good with it too. So I'm going to go ahead and use these things to make this card because this piece here is a ribbon. And I know my ribbon's pretty wide, but we'll figure it out. So what I want to do is decide which piece I want to use for this, depending on which one I think is going to look best with some of these stickers, which one they'll show up best on. And I think they'll show up best on the blue if I use some of the pink, or that one. Or that blue one looks good on the purple. And I think the flower looks good against the purple. So I think for this piece, I'm going to go ahead and use the purple. And then I will use the green probably over here and the blue for the larger side. So I'm going to kind of measure and see what size pieces I need just to get a rough idea. This piece here is about 2 inches wide, and then the rest of it is about 3 3/4 wide. So the green piece will be my 2-inch wide piece. I'm going to go ahead and use this larger paper trimmer. I did not trim down my paper after I made the thing. You know what I'm trying to say. The Easter eggs, that's what I was trying to say. So then I have to see, yeah, I think I could easily cut that out there. I'm going to go ahead and get my pencil and mark it on here. I think it would work that way too. Alright, so I'll just cut like that piece off there. Try to save as much of the paper as I can, and then I will cut this corner. Oh, and I will say these are a 5.5 by 4 and or 5.5 by 4 1/4 piece. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this all the way to the edge. So I have that. I'll get rid of that. And then the blue piece will be here. Let me cut this off to a rectangle shape first, just to make it easy. And I need to make it at about 2.5 inches, I said, right? Well, maybe no. Nope. I'll make it go to the edge. There we go. And then I want to cut this at 4 1/4. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger than 4 1/4. So I have that. And then this piece will be for this. And it is about 3.5 by 2. So I'll cut a piece that is 2 inches. I kind of don't like this piece because it's too much plain on the bottom. Let me see if I cut a different piece at 2 inches, if I get a different look. Yeah, that's better. You see how the dots are more centered on there? That just has too much dead space at the bottom. And then I want a fancy edge. So I'm going to get my fancy scissors. I have these, so this could even be a Throwback Thursday video if I wanted it to be. And I'm going to kind of take this and make a little mark right about there and mark myself a straight line. And then I'm just going to take these scissors and line it up with that line and just make a cut. So I have that piece there. Okay, that'll work. I think that'll be good. So then I want to adhere all of my papers down to my card base. And this is just a regular A2 size card base, 5.5 by 4.25. And I'm going to go ahead and line this piece up. And I want to make sure the most important side to line up is the fold, because it's harder to trim paper off of the fold than it is off of anything else. You can always trim down the sides of the card, but it's really hard to trim the fold. So I'm going to put the fold flat on the table, and I'm going to put my paper flat on the table and line it up as close to that edge as I can. But then that fold is going to give me a perfect line. And I'm going to do the same thing with this piece. And I want to line it up with this edge as well. It can overhang the edge of the card if it wants to. There we go. And then I have some edges to trim off, and I'll use my handy dandy paper trimmer and give the edges a trim. So then that is going to go there, and then this ribbon will go here. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down just to get a rough idea. Kind of give me an idea where I want to put the ribbon. And I think I will put the ribbon this way. And I should have waited, and or I should have tucked this ribbon back behind the paper, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of this ribbon. I'm going to try to be really careful and get a lot of adhesive all the way across so it holds it so it doesn't fray. And then I will trim off the ribbon even with the card. It has adhesive all the way to the very end of the card, so it should hold it down pretty good and not fray. Alright, and then I'll have to decide what I want to put on here. I really like that butterfly a lot. I think I'll kind of put it towards the middle of this. There we go. He's really cute. And let's go ahead and put this flower on. This is by Color Book, and it's just layered flowers. I don't know where I got this. I've had it in my stash for a long, long time. At least 10 years, I would say. And I think I'll just kind of put that one right there. It has pretty sticky adhesive on the back, so I don't think I need to add glue. I think it's holding on really good. And then I might put another flower down in the corner. I have these too, these little guys. I think I'll use some of these little flowers and put a few over here. And then I'll put a couple up in this corner as well. There we go. And I'm going to leave that card the way it is. I think it would brighten somebody's day. So for this card, I'm going to recycle this Christmas card. I thought this Season's Greetings part would be really cute for this piece here. And then I can use the rest of this and also the back as my other portions of the card. And I went through my stash and I found these poinsettia stickers that have the same colors, and then this gorgeous green cardstock, which I cut a shape out of, and that'll be my little floral embellishment. I think that looks really cute. And then this ribbon I thought went really, really good with it. So we'll go ahead and do this. Again, I'm going to use the same size card, an A2 size card. I'm going to cut my card in half. I'm just going to cut it this way and actually cut the fold off. And the back is a really good red that matches. So I think I'm just going to leave the back and use that. I like that. Get this side a cleaner cut. Okay, so I have to decide how much of this Season's Greetings I want on there. All right, I'm going to take a little bit off the very top. And then let me see how wide I need this to be. It's about 2 1/4 inches. Yep, I think that is centered pretty good. Now I'm not going to be able to make this edge very decorative. Otherwise it'll cut off the part of the Seasons, but I'm going to take my same decorative scissors and just give the very edge just a slight trim. There we go. Just a little tiny bit off that edge. Now since this paper matches this, I thought I would have this paper on this end of the card. And then this over here. I have to decide if I want to keep that green piece. No, I think I just want the solid red on that side. That'll be good. So I have to measure again. I can't have it this way. It's not big enough for the card. It has to go this way. So if I make it this way, at least it looks like the tree is going up. So let me see how wide I need that piece to be again. About 2 inches. Let me see what it looks like if I were to cut 2 inches this way. Yeah, I think I get a good amount of leaves there if I use this piece. And I do want to trim that white space off the top. There we go. So we'll have that piece there. And let me see what I can trim on here. There is this little tiny piece with words down there, which I will take off. And then I will cut it to be, well, I could just leave it like that. That is a good size. Okay. Then let me see how wide I want it to be. I'm going to do it just short of 4 inches, or right at 4 inches. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this piece down first. I'm not keeping the inside. I can always stamp my image, my sentiment on the inside. Again, I want to line the bottom up with the, whoops, wrong way. The bottom with the card, with the fold of the card, since I can't trim that. And if it were to come over the edges, I could always trim that. But that lined up really good. And then I think I had this piece. go ahead and do this one. And it will overlap a little bit, but that's okay. And the bottom is not perfectly even, so I'm going to use my paper trimmer and just very carefully, I'm going to open the card, trim off just that little sliver that's sticking out. There we go. Then we have that piece. Oh, I think that's going to be really good. Love it. And this piece of ribbon. And again, I should have waited, or I should have put the ribbon on before I put the card together. But that's okay. I'll do the same thing I did with the other card and cover up the very edge of the ribbon. And actually, yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this down. I thought I wanted it to sit up on and have a little bit of dimension. Maybe I want this end to have dimension, but not this end, because you'll see why in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and put my tape over here. And a little bit of this. I don't want to use my good fabric scissors on this because they'll get all gummed up. I'm going to put this adhesive, foam adhesive. Get this from the Dollar Tree. It is a 1/16 of an inch thick, so it is not very high. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of eyeball this. Doesn't have to be perfectly centered. And that way that gives that a little bit of dimension off of the same color. And then I'll go ahead and put this ribbon down, covering that edge. And I will make sure I get a lot of tape on what's going to be the edge of the ribbon, the piece I'm going to cut off, just so it doesn't fray. I will trim this piece. And I will trim this other piece, even with the card. All right, and time to make my little embellishment. Got a little adhesive there. Take that off. I punched out this piece of cardstock with my scallop circle punch. It's a 2-inch scallop circle punch. And then I'm just going to stick this poinsettia right over top of it. And I will put that right there as my embellishment. I will put that on a little piece of foam. I'm going to trim this top of this ribbon off a little bit. There we go. There we go. We have 2 cards that are made from the same sketch but look totally, totally different. I could use this and make a gift tag out of it. I could use it on the inside and put my sentiment on it if I wanted to. That would be really cute. Kind of like that. I have my stamp that I used the other day. It says, "May all the joys of the season be yours." And I could stamp it. I would have to use a permanent ink. And I would stamp that on there and stick it on the inside. Or I could also stamp it on something like this and mat it on there. I'm not sure how I'll do that, but I'll do that off camera. You get the idea. So here we go. Here are my 2 cards that I made using 1 card sketch. If you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button and also the bell so you know when I put up new videos. I'm going to try to do a different sketch video every week. If you have any sketches that you love and you use and you own the copyright to them or you have permission to use them, let me know. I'd be happy to feature your sketch on one of my videos as well. Also in my Facebook group, Create with CraftyRia, we're all using the sketches together. I have an album for the sketches and we're all using them to make our cards. It is really fun to see what people are coming up with. So if you want to hop on over there, I'll be happy to add you to the group. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate all of you. And until the next video, you know what to do. Go get crafting. Bye-bye.